Good.
Alrighty.
So I'll go first.
Yeah.
All right. So what I changed was mostly for Alley changed Taj Mahal a little bit. The production I lowered it to 3,000, 3,500, 3,000, 3,000. I kind of messed it a little bit, made it work. But like for Alley I lowered the price for the winter months since it's a summer product and raised it to 17 for the summer. So it would manipulate Edgar to have no negative sales for Edgar and still be positive for both. And that brought me to the EBT of 2,000, 1,100, $901. And so it worked. And but we'll talk about your guys' products. And for the simulation, I'll be doing the safety checks and decision making. And with that, Austin, pass it to you.
All right. For this planning spreadsheet, I changed it up a little bit. I did a lot of manipulation with the prices in order to have no lost sales. And so that's what I focused on the most. And I did change a lot of the production, especially for Taj Mahal. Um, I really dipped down in the production during the summer months in order to maximize the alley cat production. But I also bumped the price up during some of the summer months because the demand was high, and that way I could produce less Taj Mahal, but also decrease demand during those summer months where I need more alley cat production. And then again, I increased the price a little bit of alley cat during the summer because there's a higher demand, and I knew I wouldn't be able to meet demand if I didn't raise the price. So I did that and then lowered it in the winter months in order to increase demand a little bit because I had some leftover inventory. And then what that did with Edgar was allow me to produce the most Edgar during the winter months with a lower price. And then I increased it as we get into like October, November, December, where the demand starts increasing again. And I didn't have as much available in stock. And so that brought me to my total EBT of 210,428. Um, and while doing this, I watched a lot on my inventory sheet here, and I couldn't figure out how to lower the demand enough to keep a constant amount, especially of Alley Cat in the blue here. So during the summer months, I'm at basically zero Alley Cat in my inventory, but I feel like I did a pretty good job with Edgar and Taj Mahal overall. And for this simulation, I'm going to be creating production orders and listing to Cosmo about what our plan is and kind of watching live our inventory and make sure that everything is going smoothly, making sure we got some extra in the queue. And with that, I'm going to pass it off to Haley to talk about her spreadsheet and the rest of the simulation.
Yeah, so for my spreadsheet, starting off with Taj Mahal, so I knew that Taj Mahal again was a year-round ale, so I tried to kind of maintain the price and quantity throughout the whole entire year and not really adjust it too much. So I didn't really mess with the price and quantity because I knew that it would like the demand would be relatively consistent throughout the year. And then for Alley Cat, I increased the price during the summer months because I knew the demand would be higher. So I also like increased the amount of production that I was producing of Alley Cat. And then going into the winter months, I decreased both the price and like the amount of the quantity that I was producing of it because I knew that the demand would decrease going into the winter months. And then for Edgar Ale, I didn't really adjust too much. I kind of maintained the price relatively the same, except I did adjust it just like slightly. But I realized as I would adjust, like the more I would adjust the prices, then they would kind of lower the EBT. So I kind of maintained that like relatively consistent as well, which resulted in no lost sales for any of the ales. And then it also gave me an overall EBT of just over 212,000. So that's kind of how I got to that. And then moving on to the simulation plan, we kind of created a group planning like spreadsheet that we can use like during our simulation. So it's kind of organized based off of the month and then like the price and the productions of how much we're producing. So we use the relatively the same production numbers as we did for the last simulation. We did make slight adjustments based off of kind of how the last simulation went. And then we also just added the prices of each that we thought would be best. And obviously this is just like a rough basis and it can change like throughout the simulation, but this should help us kind of as we start the simulation and we go into it. And then for this simulation, I will not be present in class. So I will be doing the simulation at the Dallas Ricker Tutoring Center. So yes, I'll pass it on to Austin to make the production orders.
Yeah, so for our first month, because we start in January, we're going to be producing no Alley Cat, 1 Taj Mahal, and then 3 Edgar Ales for our initial order. So I'm going to go ahead and start that right here. And so with this, we're also not going to be changing the price initially. There, and then there, and then that is our first full production order completed. So that'll be ready for when we start the simulation on Wednesday. And with that, I think we're all set here.
Yeah.
Good stuff.